What's up, interwebs? It's your realtor, Jeremy. It is the first Tuesday of 2021. It's time for the Tuesday Market Update. All right, before we get into the numbers, we're gonna have a little heart-to-heart. I know some of you that own homes have been thinking about selling, but because of the low inventory that I've been talking about and you've seen on all of my socials, you're concerned about finding your next place. I have solutions for you. I know that a lot of people are concerned that they gotta sell their place and then they have a limited amount of time to find their next place. I have a couple of programs that some of my sellers have used. Specifically, my sister and brother-in-law used a program called a recast, where they were able to buy their next home, and then once they moved in, they sold their old home and then took the profits from that sale and recast the loan. So they didn't just put more principal down, it actually readjusted the loan to lower their monthly payments. So there are options out there. My whole thing has always been about finding a better quality experience for buyers and sellers, and I've got lots of tools for it. So if you've even thought a little bit about maybe moving up, maybe downsizing, and just concerned about finding that next place in that limited time when you're trying to sell your place to, give me a call and let's see if we can find an option that works for you to make your selling experience a lot less stressful. All right, let's get into the numbers. We're looking at Chandler, Gilbert, 2021, and guess what? There's a shocker. This isn't hyperbole. Obviously, you think I'd be like, hey, low inventory. Duh. I want you to look at the graph here. New listings completely tanked in December. Like, we thought they were down in November, but literally the new listings dropped below the actives and the sold listings trended way up. I think what this shows a little bit is that lull we had around the election where November dipped or whatever, because normally we're pretty steady October, November, December. If you take out November's little blip down there, it's pretty normal trend, but it was just kind of shocking that it dipped down that much and then shot way back up. It'll be interesting to see, but if you look at that, that's like the sold listings is almost double what the new listings and the active listings were. So it's, yeah, there's some interesting things happening. Listing prices continue to trend up in Chandler. Did I mention this is Chandler right now? It says it up there, but anyway, whatever. Absorption rate, you can see we're down below 0.8 months. So I'm not going to say it because y'all know. Low inventory. I just said it. I said I wasn't going to. Whatever. I'm going to say it. It's going to happen in every one of these episodes. Inventory's really low. Sellers, I need you. We need you. The buyers out there need you. We have options. Statistics for Chandler, wowzers. December 2020 was 443,401, up from 386,926, the 14.6% change. And if we check the year to date, we had about 12.5% appreciation. Now, if you remember earlier last year, I was expecting maybe like an appreciation in the 6 to 7% range. I've always been very, very conservative, and I've always been wrong on the conservative side. I should be way more optimistic. Yeah, about 12.5% appreciation over the last 12 months in Chandler as a whole. So that's impressive, really impressive, especially through a pandemic. Spread of houses, as usual, the bulk 300 to 400, but 400 to 500 is kind of starting to catch up there. I think probably by this show next year, we'll see that swing shift over, because I know the bulk of those 3 to 400 were in like the mid to higher range of the 3 to 400. And then quite a few, 84 more houses sold December this year than December last year. So yeah, sold lots of houses last year. It was a good year. From a house sales standpoint and house appreciation standpoint. I know, it was a giant mess outside of that. But definitely if you owned a home, you're sitting better this year than you were last year. So that's good news. Let's look at Gilbert. So Gilbert did see a similar tank of new listings, but not nearly as dramatic as Chandler was. New listings were still above the active listings, which was good. And then Gilbert didn't quite recover as much from that November dip. So Chandler and Gilbert mirrored each other. October, dipped November, but Chandler was gangbusters in December. Gilbert was just creeped up a little bit. But Gilbert's pricing increase or their appreciation are a little more, I would say it's a little more robust increase in Gilbert. But you've got absorption rate at like a half a month. Lord. Yeah, so if no new houses hit the market, which none have in like the last 4 days, it's crazy. We've only got a half a month of inventory. So it's just low inventory. Here's the statistics for Gilbert. Average price $471, $414, up from $385, $297, a 22.3% change. If we look at the year to date, we're at a 13.5% appreciation. So Gilbert outpacing Chandler by about 1%. And then the spread of houses, as you can see in Gilbert, the 400 to 500 is definitely catching up to that 300 to 400 price point. Again, I think in a year, we're going to see that 400 to 499 or 400 to 500 take over as the bulk of what's sold in Gilbert. I appreciate you checking in. First market update of the year. We're going to continue these every single week. That's one of my goals this year, is to do it consistently every single week. Last year we did, I think, like 30 something market updates. And my goal this year is to be super consistent on it weekly, outside of like Christmas time when I don't do a lot. But I appreciate you guys checking in. If you have a question, if you're maybe not a seller, but you're thinking about buying, you're concerned about being able to find something, be able to afford something, interest rates are low, which means affordability is pretty good. But if inventory doesn't pick up, house prices are going to continue to increase, and we're going to shift outside of that affordability range. So definitely reach out to me if you've thought about buying. The sooner you do it, the better. And if you're thinking about selling, like I said, I've got some great solutions to make selling and then buying your next place as stress. I don't want to say stress-free, because there's always some stresses in buying and selling real estate. But I can guarantee you a better quality experience than you'll get anywhere else. Thanks again. Hope you guys have a great start to your new year. If you got those resolutions, man, stick with them. You owe it to yourself to stick to them. And we will see you guys next week on the Tuesday market update. Bye, guys.